So I grew up actually in a PCA church, to strong believing parents, and so have always been aware of theology and ultimately Jesus, but really wasn't until high school that it kind of went from head to heart. In high school there were 3 people my age, and so the pastor took the 3 guys aside and said, as pastor, and we see the 3 of you, now kind of 12 to 14 years old, we see you as future leaders in the church, and so we need you to be able to express yourself in more theological terms, and changed it from just in my head hearing it in a sermon to really understanding what, for instance, grace looks like versus me just trying to do everything on my own. It'd be when I met my future but now wife, Christine. She's been able to really pour grace into me every day now being married, and all that has been wonderful. College made a lot of stupid mistakes, as some college people do, especially in the fraternity world, right? Just not where I was hoping to be. And I also think about my time in New Mexico as also being profound, which Christine certainly played a role by being so supportive. It was a school out in rural New Mexico, about 2 hours west of Albuquerque is the easiest way to even explain where it is. Very small town. And it's a mission started by the Christian Reformed Church that targeted, or I guess teaches and tries to economically, socially, politically raise up people from the area, which are predominantly Navajo, Hopi, and Zuni tribes, but to be in a whole new culture that I had never experienced, getting to know a lot of people from very different historical, cultural, ethnic, racial people groups, to see what beauty there is in that sense of diversity. God has worked so richly through that mission of changing the tribe through these children that can not only learn and get a great education and then come back to help the tribe, but also to bring the truth and the grace of ultimately the good news. To me was just so instructive of God saying, hey, I see you, taking 4 years of college, having a lot of issues, having a lot of problems, but that has been redeemed. That was just truly transforming. I'd gone to a couple other PCA churches in Charlotte. Great people, have some very close friends from those churches. Christ Central's different though. I can recall the first time that I came in, I was in a full suit, as you often do at a PCA church, and it was Howard Brown and Giorgio both came up to me and they pointed at my tie and jacket and were like, no, no, stop. But to me, the biggest difference wasn't the music, it was purely how friendly everyone was, how much people wanted to pour themselves into my life. I think of Charles McKnight coming out of nowhere really in my life to invite me out to a Tuesday morning group that has changed me. How there's all these guys that want to get involved, want to pray for me, want to talk me through issues. We can get to the point where maybe I need correction in teaching, but it's still done with an eye towards affection. So many people that have really come into my life and have shown me God's grace through understanding that I am broken, that they are broken, but let's all be broken together. I've definitely bought into a lot of the idea of self-sufficiency, where I should do everything on my own, that I have an idea of what God wants for me, right, versus wanting what God wants for me. Right now I'm in a period of job transition, and so often I just want to find the right job, and I don't want to pray about it because I need to be out doing it, right? That right now I should be meeting with people, I should be doing X, Y, and Z, but I so often just don't stop and say, hey God, what do you want? And prayer is something that he requests for us, and I so often don't avail myself of that. But also just understand that that I should lean on more of the Christian community. I think one thing that Christ Central does great is to hammer home the idea of community, that we are a church, but we're also part of the Big C church. And so to understand that if I want to help change Charlotte for the better, that it shouldn't be a Tim charges in blindly, boldly, all by himself, rather than, hey, there are so many people here around me that want to help me, that want to help others. And so to pray for me, I would say the biggest thing would be to obviously grow as a husband, but also to know how to stop being so self-sufficient and to really lean on God and his will and his power.